All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. Don't forget to mute your mics. I am Alexi. I'm the founder and CEO of Finessed Media, and it's good to see all of you. I see a bunch of new faces, a bunch of old faces. Hey, Leonie. Hey, Joey. What's up? So we'll start off with introductions. We'll go around the room, say hello to folks that we haven't before and folks that we know, and then we'll jump into an interview and Q&A with Miss Cheryl Wang.
Hi, guys.
And then we'll jump into a listening session towards the end, but I'm going to give everybody a couple of minutes to jump in. So while we're doing that, we can go around the room and say hello to some folks. So Joey, I'm going to start off with you because, you know, we love you.
What's up?
Hello. Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hey, y'all. I'm Joey. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm an artist and producer in New York City.
Cool.
Nice.
Joey is super talented and has many different sides of themselves that you will all see in the upcoming music video.
Yes.
Joey, when does the music video come out?
Oh, it's a work in progress because I'm working on new music at the moment too, but we got to talk. We got to talk about choreo.
All right. Sounds good. I want to be in the music video. I'm going to be dancing in the background. Awesome. Hey, Leonie, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Sure. Good morning, everybody, or good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at. I'm Leonie. I'm in LA. I am a customer service admin pivoting into events or fan engagement. This is my cat, Voodoo. She's going to also be in the background as well, just chilling. So
that's awesome. Cool. Well, it's good to see you again. Also, for those of you who are comfortable, feel free to leave your cameras on. It is a really great way for you to meet some folks, for people to put a face to the name, and to just stay active as you're listening, but it isn't mandatory. Brother Pathos, Larry, I'm going to go ahead and call on you.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes,
awesome.
We can hear you.
I'm half of Brother Pathos and got some new music to share, so I'm excited, and I'm excited to hear about film and music. So yeah.
Awesome. How did you find out about the event? I don't think I've seen you, or maybe I have seen you on one of these events. Have you been on before?
I've been on a few. I think about three of them. And I just get the emails, and I'm on you guys. I'm on y'all's Instagram and everything like that. So you know, I hear about it and see the lives on Instagram, and everybody tells me about it. So you know, it's a good thing, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy Finessed a lot, so I appreciate you guys.
Awesome. We appreciate you. Everybody tells you who's everybody. I want to know.
The world. See. There are a few, like I found out about you guys through Mini Producer. And you guys did a talk about what is it, the disability and music venues and things like that, accessibility. And so that's how I got in, the first thing I got into. So it was just really interesting. And especially I have cerebral palsy, so I have a disability myself. And so it was a good talk, and it was something nice to see, accessibility in music. So.
Oh, that's right. That's where I've seen you on one of our events. Okay, awesome. Well, it's great to have you. We love having you as a part of the community.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Riza.
Hey there. I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm not sure.
We can see you. We can hear you.
I can't see myself, so. But yeah, my name is Riza. Actually, you and I have been talking in DM, so I'm RZ. Actually, I go by RZ Shahid, songwriter, creative directive. I own a company called Artisanadu, so working with music, film, and fashion. And I got new music dropping soon, so I'm just excited to tune in and connect with everybody.
Yes, RZ, I remember you. I was waiting for you to be on. I was going to say, if he's not on today, he's missing out. Cool. Nice. I am going to call on some people that have their cameras off. If you're available to speak, awesome. If not, that's totally fine. I'll move on to the next person. Rachel, I recognize you. How are you doing? No?
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Do you want to introduce yourself to the audience real quick?
Yeah, so I'm Rachel Webb. I'm from Denver, Colorado. I'm in school for music business right now, so I'm not really sure what I want to do and focus on. But I just saw this video about music supervision, and I'm trying to get involved with stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Awesome. It's good to see you. I see you all over, I think social or LinkedIn or Twitter.
Probably social
Something.
media. I just followed
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff on Instagram.
Awesome. It's good to have you. I'll
Yeah.
call on just a couple of other folks. Phyllis, I saw you turn on your camera. How are you doing? Good to see you. Oh, you're on mute, by the way.
Do you see me? Because I don't see myself.
Yes, we see.
Okay. Hi. So I'm a producer and composer and singer, songwriter in the area of like, let's say, ambient, atmospheric, little bit of elevating sound. But I'm also working on an alternative pop project right now with a producer. So this is where I come from.
Nice. It's great to meet you and have you on here.
Thanks a lot.
All right, I'm going to call on one more person. Christina Jarita, are you able to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm just here to get some information on music supervision and see if it's a field I want to delve into.
Nice. Well, it is great to have you. I think I've seen your social media pages too, so it's good to.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm around.
Cool. All right. Anyone want to introduce themselves before we move on to? Yes, Jacqueline, I see you. Hello. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I don't know where anyone is at, but hello, my name is Jacqueline Smith, but as an artist, I go by Jacqueline Constance. Just recently in the big scheme of life, just left my 9-to-5 and now I'm a full-time musician. Myself and my partner, who's named Joey Cathos, we actually have a production group called Gentle Jones, and we're looking to get into sync licensing and just the ins and outs of it. So just happy to be here, just happy to get some good information. And I stumbled upon this event on Twitter and I follow everyone that's attached. So I'm just excited just to get some like good information around sync licensing and music and film. So that's it.
Congratulations on leaving your 9-to-5. Woohoo! That's exciting.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. I'm going to call on just one more person because I see Shiniere. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I see you raised your hand.
Hey, how you doing? So this is the awkward moment when you log on Zoom and your wife has been on Zoom before you, and it's your wife's name. So that's my wife's name is Shaneri. But my name is Tyron, and you can call me Twiz. That's my producer name.
Nice. You can change your name, by the way, if you right click.
Yeah, I'm about to do that right now.
Cool.
I didn't realize. I looked up. I was like, "Oh no, that's not me." All right.
All good. Hey, everybody. Cool. So if you haven't got a chance to introduce yourself, but you would like to introduce yourself, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. We'll have a contact sheet going in just a second. Again, I'm Alexi. I'm the CEO and founder of Finessed Media, and I haven't hosted in a while, so I'm really excited to be here and chat with you all. So essentially, we're going to talk about music and film today, and we have an amazing speaker, Cheryl Wang, who's here to chat with you about her experience in music supervision. And we'll also talk about her background in film, which is how we were able to get into music supervision and music coordination. So Cheryl, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So we have a lot of, as you can see, we have a lot of artists and music industry professionals in the chat. So maybe we can start off with how you got started in the music industry or maybe start off with the film industry first, because that's kind of what led you into music supervision. And for those of you who are just listening in, remember to take notes, pen and paper. Does everyone have a pen and paper? Give me a thumbs up if you have a pen and paper. Okay, cool. So, and then keep your mics off, please. There will be an opportunity to ask questions towards the end. If you have any questions, feel free to do it in the chat. Cool. So yeah, Cheryl, want to tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started?
Right. So I am from China, and I didn't go to film school in college because I was not believing in having a career in like art world. So I went to a business school. I studied accounting, and but my first job was a content for DreamWorks on Panda 3. So that's my first job in the entertainment industry. But then I was like, okay, I want to get closer to the film business. It's not just doing all the reimbursement sheet and doing budgeting. So I started doing a film distribution at IMAX, also in China. So after 3 years, I feel like, okay, I think I kind of know the business side of the film. Like I kind of know the film market, the box office, everything. So but I still want to be creative. So I came to New York and pursue a MFA degree in Columbia in film producing. So I recently graduated, but during like my time at school, I was producing, directing, writing films, and I had this internship somehow because I have this post-production class, and my teacher introduced me to this established music supervisor in New York City. So I started as his intern and music coordinator, and now I'm like doing music supervision, music supervisor for like smaller projects. That's how I got into like this crossover intersection of music and film. So yeah.
Did you always know that this was a space that you were going to be in?
No, absolutely not. Like I actually was more into music than I was into film. When I was a teenager, I was like pop culture junkie. I watched all the SNL. I listened to all the music stuff, but I was not sure like, is there any way I can actually like work in the music industry? Like I had like 9 years of training of violin, but I was told like you cannot be a musician by my parents. So I didn't know that I can actually make it to music supervision. Like, and that's another thing, like in film school, like post-production at Columbia, post-production was not really being talked about a lot. So even in school, I was not really familiar with the concept of like music supervision as like music department in the post-production for film. So yeah, it happened. Now I'm here. So
nice.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And I know you're in New York City. What kind of music do you typically like to listen to?
Oh, I'm a very old school person. And so I'm very passionate about all the 70s disco and funk music, and really now like drawn to 90s East Coast hip hop. And but yeah, like and a lot of like post-punk. And that's how I started like my music junkie journeys. I was really into those British like Manchester punk rock. But yeah, now I'm like, I told people I listen to almost everything, but you know, everyone's like that. So yeah.
Also, to anyone who is just joining in, feel free to drop your information in the chat if you are from New York City or where you're from. It would be great to know where all of you are from. New York in the building. Woo woo. Cool. I'm in Philly, by the way. So Joey, good to see you. Cool. So Cheryl, tell us about, actually one of the reasons why I was really excited to have you on is because you're a woman of color, you're a representative of the queer community as well. So maybe can you talk about just let's talk about where you or why you decided to pursue music supervision, even though it's not necessarily a traditional path.
Right. So I think it started because that's where my passion is. Whenever I watch a film, I definitely, first of all, I'm really attracted to the story, the narrative of the film. But then I really care about the music. I will have like very visual reaction to all the music when it starts playing. And to me, that's one of the most profound moments of the film that can really like speak to me. So that's how I started, like, but I didn't know that there is a career, the occupation called music supervision. But then, so when I first started doing music supervision as intern, I was on the impression of, okay, so like they means I need to have like a very professional, like music education. Is that correct? Is that true? So I had a lot of like doubts about like what I'm gonna do and what requires, like what I'm capable of. But then as I start doing it, and music supervision is like a part of like, to me, it's like producing. So part of the business and part of creative. So I kind of get to know after a few months in, I realized like all the past experience and I have learned from my other jobs in accounting and distribution. And I even work as a like archival research, like assistant on a documentary, and so a lot of research skills. So all those skills that are very integral part of the music supervision world. And then there's a lot of creative, because we have to talk with the producer, director, post-production supervisor, and musicians to figure out, okay, how to make this music palette for this film. So it requires like all different kinds of skill set. And to me, it's like, this is what I can do and what I'm passionate about. So yeah, I think this is the path I want to take. Yeah.
Brother Pathos says, anyone else listen to movie scores? Are you the kind of person who listens to movie scores?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really drawn to those old Hollywood scores, you know, Burt Bacharach and like Lalo Schifrin, but also I grew up like watching those Western movies in China, like those blockbusters, the Hans Zimmer, like we all know those big names. So to me, like those scores are very essential to the film. But I also really, really love those like source music, like licensed music in films. And I like one of the films I watched when I was like teenager, Broken Flowers, and by Jim Jarmusch, and they have this Ethiopian jazz music in it. So that was so beautifully and like curated in the film throughout the whole film. So that's, you know, like really speaks to me. So yeah, I'm really drawn to the scores piece in the film.
That's awesome. Helena says, I love musicals, so it's the La La Land score for me all day. Helena, you would get along with my partner. My partner does not stop talking about La La Land ever. Cool. So Cheryl, maybe let's jump into, what does your day-to-day look like? I'm curious about, because you do a lot. So you're doing a lot of music coordination. So what does your day-to-day look like from say 8 to 5 or 9 to 6?
Yeah, so right now, like all the music supervisor and music coordinator, we're like working on multiple projects at one time. And every project has their own deadline, has their own like a music cue sheet, a lot of licensors to follow up with. So my day usually begin with just going through all the outstanding, you know, licensing requests and to figure out, okay, like what, and looking at the timeline of the post-production to figure out, okay, what songs we need to chase, you know, the licensors follow up, and what songs, what we can do to kind of facilitate to get the license, to get the quote in. And then we're gonna look at the chart and look at the budget and think about, okay, how we can meet the budget limit. And because 99.99% of time we're always like over the budget. And so we had to think of a way like how to, you know, this going down like 1K or 5K in that placement, and but we still keep in the quality and still like make, like, you know, satisfy the director. So what we're gonna do, so there's a lot of like creative like song, like just listening, research, and like working with sync agents for the song pitching. So like those two parts, like just the paperwork and some creative side, and then happens to every project. Like basically every week we toward the end of the week we have like many like meetings and calls and kind of just go through where we at right now. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, do you spend your day mostly interacting with, because I know that you don't work as closely with the independent artists and you work more closely with sync agents, but do you spend majority of your meeting times with sync agents, or would you say you spend majority of your meeting times with directors and people on the film side?
Yeah, for me, it's with people on the film side, because music supervision is still like a part of the film post-production world. So what we do is to serve the purpose of finish this film. So what we prioritize most is the producers and directors and what they want. And then we can get a sense of like what we can do to meet their need, and also to find a collaboration with artists or like labels and music publishers. So yeah.
Can you give, maybe, I think this might be helpful for folks that are really trying to get their music into film for the first time.
Yeah.
Can you give some examples? And you don't have to go into any details because I'm sure you're not able to tell us everything, but can you tell us a little bit about what directors and producers often look for in film?
Right. It really depends on like the story and the genre. And so sometimes it's like some projects I've worked on is like very period specific. It's like it's set in 1979, 1980. So the director always go for some retro vibe and like some 70s music, 80s music. And some projects are like based like modern time. But then there's about like specific story happen in a specific region. So then we also think about like, is it country music or is it hip hop, and what people really listening to in the world, in the film world, like the story, those characters, what do they listen to? So it's all based on the story. And also like depends on like where the generation the filmmakers are actually from. They actually have the preference, like they're millennials, they want specific sound. They're like in their early 20s, they want some SoundCloud music. So it's all different. And yeah, we work based on that. Yeah.
So you work primarily with indie films, correct?
Correct, yeah.
But when you were on the film side, you were working, I think I saw that you worked with Kung Fu Panda or on Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, that's accountant.
Out of curiosity. Oh, you're an accountant for Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what experience has helped you from your film experience to being a music supervisor now? What are some things that maybe you've learned or that you've experienced that are helpful for you in your career now as a music supervisor or as a music coordinator?
Right. So yeah, as I said, my background is started from accounting. So I was dealing with a lot of numbers. I have to make all the budgets and like statement, like bills, like I have to get to know like the numbers, where we add with numbers and what we're going to do with it. And then my job in film distribution, I was also dealing with a lot of numbers, doing like box office reports. And then another part of my distribution job is to work with, coordinate with all their like film studios and the exhibitors to release our films, and a lot of like bureaucratic like process to deal with, and a lot of digital assets tracking. Mm-hmm. So that's also like my first like relationship with the post-production world. And then in school, studying film producing, I actually produced short films. So that's another thing, like about how to know hire people, how to know like work with a group and on the film. And so that part of skills also very essential, because you're like music supervision is still like a film job. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so all those, and then like also research, because a big part of the music supervision job is find songs and clear songs. So when it comes to clearance, you have to know, okay, who's the writers and who are the publisher and what are the contacts and what we're going to do and what we're going to say. So a lot of research, information digging as well. Mm-hmm. So all that part. And then with music, thankfully, like music supervision does not require like a very deep like understanding, or like you actually need to know how to make music. You just need to love music, and you have some like narrative and like a reaction when you listen to music, that you kind of know like what the music's saying to you, and what you are looking for based on this scene, based on the context. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it requires a lot of like management, technical skills, and also some creative sense for music. Yeah.
How do you determine, so your process, you're typically getting music from sync agents in order to place it into the film. So when you work with a sync agent, what does that look like? What do those interactions look like?
Right.
How do you make sure that the music is cleared properly? Like what is that for you?
Yeah, so like there are a lot of source cues in film for each scene, and so each scene has their own context based like in the background of like this whole film story. So when we need to find music for the specific scene, we will reach out to the sync agents give the context, like give them an idea or even the lookbook of the film, like what the film is about, what is the world of the film. And then we will give the context of each scene, like what is going on and what kind of, like sometimes we go deeper, like what kind of mood we're chasing, what kind of lyrics, what kind of theme we want to convey through the music, and what's the use. So like it's background music, it was like background vocal, or like even people will sing on screen. So that kind of give them a sense of like what actually we're looking for. And also like those technical stuff, like the BPM, the tempo, the genre we're looking for. And so to help them narrow down the list, so they will give us some options and then we'll screen them, and we'll talk to directors and we'll work with music editors, kind of cutting the film, kind of know, is it really match, like what everyone's thinking of, like, is this going to work? So yeah, that's the process. So yeah.
I've always been curious about if an art or if a director wants someone to sing on screen.
Yeah.
What does that process look like? Are they choosing the artist prior to I guess the music supervision or going through the sync agent, or does someone reach out and they say they want to sing on screen? What is the whole process for getting someone to sing on screen in a movie?
So also depends on like what kind of film and what scene it is. So the films I've been working on is just actors singing on screen, but because but even though if we hire singers or performers on screen, it's always like part of a production instead of like post-production. So we will get ready even like during the pre-production to get to know, okay, who we're gonna have on the shoot day to be there. And so we will get into like select the songs, like is those songs the director wants like that to be performed on scene on screen, is it like clearable, is it licensable? And so there's a process of like finding the right music like for the specific scene. And for those visual vocals, we have to clear it even before the shoot day, like we have to get it done as part of a pre-production. So yeah.
So say an actor is supposed to sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow on a movie. Do you go to the sync agent to try to clear or find out who the sync agent is to clear it? Do you go to the label? What's that process look like?
Right. So for songs big like Over the Rainbow, we will definitely just do the research, and it usually goes with those like legacy copyrights. So we will go with the like big publishers and to clear the sync rights. And and that's usually the way to do. But if like smaller songs, we definitely, like it, because when it comes to visual vocal, it's always like the director or producer or us already have in mind like what song we're going to use. And but yeah, it's like there's definitely a scenario of like the scene, we need some music that people sing to it, but we're not sure what song will be. So that's a possibility. We'll work with sync agents, like again, it's the same process, like we're looking for the theme, the lyrics, like that.
Gotcha. Someone in the chat, I think Takulam, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If it's a cover of a big song, who would you go to first to clear it?
Absolutely the publisher, because the sync rights is essential. Like we do not need the master rights, but because it's a big song, first of all, we need to go to the writers, like always represented by a publisher, and we will get approval from them and let them know that they were going to be a cover by someone else. And then as an etiquette, we will also reach out to, to the label and say like, this is what we're going to do. So that's how we're going to do. Yeah. Nice. Like definitely get the writer's approval. That's for sure.
Cool. Twiz and Jacqueline both asked similar questions. They're curious about how effective you think music libraries are for providing sync opportunities for indie artists. So would you suggest music libraries or working with a sync agent?
I work with both, and they both have been very, very helpful for our work. Because a lot of like music search, music pitching that we need is always happening like last minute or like under a very tight budget. So like work with like a music library and sync agents. The good thing about that is they already vetted their music. So for us, when we reach out to them, we know, okay, the songs they're pitching to us is clearable and probably gonna have a fairly fast turnaround. And they already got all the splits information cleared. So we will like have a more confidence to work with them. And they also have a very rich and deep collection. So whatever we're looking for, like either the genre, the period, the vibe, and like the theme, they can always like cater to it. And they've done a great job. It's like even every day my work, I'm just truly inspired by those places because they're just been so easy and passionate about sync licensing and music like placements in films. So yeah.
So you are often dealing with briefs from the music supervisors or from the directors. So say a brief comes in, it says, I want an artist, or I want a song from a person of color. I want a song that is 2 minutes long in length, or maybe 15 seconds. 2 minutes is kind of long for a television or for a movie sometimes, but
it happens. Yeah.
So say, okay, let's say 15 seconds to 30 seconds, however long. They say that they want, let's see, I don't know, what's another request that you might see on a brief?
Yeah, so like music in film, because music happens in a lot of scenes in film. Sometimes it's like, okay, just like a background of this diner, of this restaurant. We're just looking for some like birthday party background music. So it's like sometimes it's just a music piece and just building the vibe, the atmosphere of the scene, the location. And sometimes like speaks directly to the character, like to the whole narrative, the arc of the film. So the requests are like varies all the time.
Gotcha. Yeah. Brother Pathos, you actually said the one I was trying to get was a certain mood. So say a director asks, they give you a brief that they want all these things.
Yeah.
And you go to a music library, you go to a sync agent. Actually, let's start with the music library because the process is a little bit different with a music library. How do you start your search through a music library?
Yeah, another thing about when directors or producers give us a direction, like what they're looking for, they always give us like a temp track or like a reference track. So we already so that really help us to know what they want. And then for the music library, sometimes we just ask, like our context there. So this is what we're looking for, again, the context. But also I will also go on their website, the library, because another thing about sync licensing is like the metadata is very important. So like sometimes we just like those filters, those tags is very important. We have to go through that. And because first of all, it has to work like for the scene, like it has to have the right like tempo and everything, all the technical side, it has to match. And then we can go deeper into, okay, like these songs are giving like the same like function, how we're going to do that. So that will like require some like creative sense, but like all the metadata has to be there, and music library like doing very well with it.
What's the process? What's different between you working with a music library versus a sync agent?
For me, they're like basically the same because it's just matters like what music they have. And are those music gonna meet what our requirements for the song? So it's and in the budget. So like working with those song pitching agents and libraries, it's just a matter of like how fast they can give us the license and how like what's the rate for those songs. And so like the both like work like the same because it's just been very helpful. So I rely on both of them on equal.
That's a really good point that you made actually about the speed of getting the music, because oftentimes you're on a time crunch and the director is like, I need this song by tomorrow, but you still have to get everything cleared. So how do you, and budget obviously is really important too, but how do how do you make sure that all of this happens within such a short amount of time? Because you're working with a sync agent who also has to reach back out to the artist sometimes to make sure everything's cleared. So how do you pick up the pace to be like, hey, I need this at this time by tomorrow, in order to get everything to the director on time? How do you make sure things move quickly?
Yeah, for like a bigger songs, that's another thing about like in media supervision, it takes time to build a relationship with those licensors, with the publisher, like big places like Warner or Sony. Like you have to have a relationship with them, like a trustful, like collaboration. So when you tell them, okay, we're mixing this weekend, so we need to have the songs clear, so they will know and they respect us, we respect them. So like we're gonna hopefully we're gonna get the song back in time. But then work with like independent artists, like sync agents, and sometimes like when we first time reach out to them, we'll let them know, okay, do you have any easy to clear around this rate like songs and that could work for this scene and based on this context, so they already know that what kind of timeline they're working under. So so like they vetted music already and they know their artists, so it's like we rely on them to give us a timely feedback.
Gotcha. I know you might not be able to share all of this, but if you can, then we have some people asking about what libraries and sync agents you use. Are there any that you would be able to disclose that some folks might be looking into?
Yeah, like one of the places, APM, is the places I work like with a lot, and they always like super helpful and super collaborative. And then like a lot of sync places, there's just so many. Like there's just so many, like Ghost Town, like I recently worked with them, and Space Camp, like they like for a lot of hip hop songs, like I work with them a lot. And like for example, like a lot of hip hop music, they have like splits, like they have 7-8 writers and samples on the one song. So work with the sync agents, they give us a song on disco link, and they has all the metadata listed, and for each writer, for this 1% who you reach out to, and like it's all listed there. So that's super helpful to work with sync agents.
Gotcha. Okay, so she listed a couple. I hope you all wrote those down. She said Space Camp, Ghost Town, and APM. So write those down if you're trying to find some folks to look into. And then Cheryl, you also mentioned disco. I know what disco is, but can you explain what disco is for those that are not familiar with the platform?
So right now I only use Disco Link to work directly with sync agents. They will send us a list, and we will and then I have my own walls and just I have different tags for different research requires. And for me, I use it basically like I will have my own library of like what music has been pitched to me, and what music, which means you're like licensable, clearable, and like has a fast turnaround, and then I will just like screen them for different projects in the future. So like I haven't really been like using like disco library. I think there is a new function of that. So I'm definitely really trying to look into that for sure.
Yeah. So for those of you who aren't familiar with disco, I'm going to type it in the chat really quickly. It's disco.ac, I believe. So if you go to disco, then you can input your metadata to the platform. A lot of sync agents and music supervisors will only accept your music through disco. So just keep that in mind. Not all of them will, but a lot of them, if you don't have your music up on disco, are not going to accept the links because they want all the metadata and tracking. So cool. Let me see. There were some interesting questions in the chat as well. I really like this one from Rachel where she said, have you ever had a moment in your career where you felt like you had a life-changing experience when you chose a certain song to go in a movie or TV show and it did a cultural reaction? An example being like Nora Felder with Running Up That Hill and Stranger Things, or Alexandra Patsavas with Heroes and Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah, definitely not on that scale yet. I'm still trying to learn in this field. I'm trying to still, like build my own like skill set in this field. But yeah, like those some projects I can really mention like what the project is, but some projects we've been trying to play some big songs. And to me, that's just a very eye-opening experience. And to really see how it was well received during its premiere. And yeah, so like to me, like no matter it's big songs or like smaller songs, I am very open-minded. And I think it really depends on the story. Like, because at the end of the day, the music placements, the sync for film and TV, they work for the story for the final film. So yeah, I think it eventually, I'm definitely looking forward to that moment. But yeah, I'm still just learning. I'm trying to find more new voices and like for more projects. Yeah.
Are there any songs in your own personal vault that you would love to eventually put into a movie where you're like, this song has to be in a movie, or I love this song so much, I have to hear it in a TV show or anything like that?
Yeah, there are, like I said, I'm a very old school person, so there's a lot of hidden gems from like 90s and 80s. A lot of people didn't know. It's like I said, like Ethiopian jazz that I heard from Broken Flowers. That's like a very good example of like some music that just has so much history, that has so much cultural context, but it was, not being heard in films and TV enough. So that kind of music I really want to put into. Yeah.
So you like finding just hidden gems, music that a lot of people probably wouldn't put into the film.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. So I have a couple of other questions that I'm seeing. I'm just going down the chat. I'm enjoying some of these questions that folks are putting in here, and I'll also open up the floor to folks as well. But Riza, RZ, I can't remember how you pronounced it. As an artist, if you work with an agency, would you recommend still pitching yourself to opportunities if you connect them with the team who represents you? Or is it more of a play the waiting game until your team finds an opportunity / placement for you?
Let me see. So this is for work with agency?
I believe so. Actually,
yeah, okay.
Riza, do you want to just ask your question? Because I think it's a little bit confusing how you might have worded it, but I think I know where you're going. Riza, let's just open up the Q&A. I'm going to open up the floor. If folks have questions, you all can raise your hand and I'll call on you. But Riza, I'm going to let you speak your piece. What would you like to ask?
Sure. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, cool. My question is, so I'm asking for me. So long story short, I work with the agency. They're called Connective Music Group, but they exclusively have like a certain part of my catalog in there. And the CEO did tell me that artists pitch themselves all the time, but I guess I was more so asking the proper way to pitch myself, whether it's like, hey, I work with Connective Music Group and sending them like my artist disco page that they have for me, or if it's more of a just let that team do the work and I kind of like wait, because I know she said I could pitch myself, but I didn't know like the proper way to do that if I'm not the one that's necessarily doing the licensing part of it, if that makes sense.
Right. So what I'm like I mentioned, like what I'm doing most these days for song selecting and pitching is work directly with sync companies. And the reason for that is it's mainly because the paperwork is for the time, like a time efficiency. So when like I work with sync agents, like they already have all the information listed and like everything we can know is reliable. And for the future contracts, all the legal stuff, it's also, buttoned up. But like for like independent artists, you can also reach out to media supervisors yourself. But for me, I don't really take unsolicited submissions. It's just because we're working like with so many different projects at one time, and we really want to just get a targeted songs like very fast. So, but when you reach out to media supervisors, it's good to mention that you work with the same company. So you have some context, mutual context can validate that for you. And then if you have a system like a disco page with all the music in it and with all the metadata completed, and that could also, helpful for music supervisor to really dive into it if they have time.
That's a really great point. Razan, did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Cool. So to also reiterate, when you're working or on the music supervision side, as Cheryl had mentioned, so Cheryl works with sync agents and music libraries. So to reiterate what she was saying is, if you're working or if you're trying to get your music into film and television, one of the reasons and benefits of working with a sync agent and music library is that you're able to get your music through them cleared. So usually a lot of these sync agents and music libraries, or not all of these music libraries, but a lot of the sync agents especially, actually music libraries as well, will make sure that you already have the rights to the music. So make sure that you're doing things such as getting your split sheets taken care of, that you're tracking all the metadata, because if you want to pitch your music personally, then those are the things that you're going to need in order to get your music cleared. Cheryl, that's pretty much how it works on you, right?
Yeah, so yeah, the metadata, the splits, the writer, who are the co-writer, are they on board for you to license that on behalf of them as well? And like who are the contact and who control like how much share percentage? And then if there's a sample, because that's like also huge for us to even think about clearing selecting the song, like the sample free. Do you have a sample free version if the original version has samples on it? And then also it's just like what year was released in and the BPM, all those like various like basic information of the track. Yeah, so like we have to know like if it's a clearable and like who we need to reach out to. That's very, very important when we think about licensing.
Nice, cool. Nia, I see you have a question. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Hi, yes, you are. Hi, I wanted to ask, I work already in the TV and film production space as talent and on the production side, on the floor and things of that sort. But my next step is that I do want to get into music supervising, but I don't necessarily have any experience. So I wanted to ask you if you had any advice for someone who really wants to break into the space, but how do we necessarily go about getting those hands-on experiences to be a music supervisor?
Right. So my path is similar to a lot of people currently in the industry, is to start as an intern, as a coordinator for a music supervisor. That's how because like the very important part of the music supervision is all the nitty-gritty part of like paperwork stuff and all the coordination. So that's like a boot camp for any aspiring music supervisor to learn about the business and learn about the process. And then if if you haven't found any like a music supervisor that open to internship, you can also just start like doing music licensing for your friends' short films. That's also like a very easy way, like to, like when you do the research, okay, what kind of websites you can go into. And when you reach out to the contacts at those publishers and labels, you're also kind of building, okay, now I have this contact for this place for this song, and for the future, any other songs, if they're published by the same place, I know who can reach out to. And so like you can just start doing like very small short film projects or intern at for a supervisor. That's what I recommend to do. Yeah. If that helps.
Nia, does that help?
Yes. Thank you, ladies.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. Jessica, I see you have a question.
Hi.
No? Oh,
No idea.
hey.
Hi guys. First of all, thanks again to Finessed for having these, and Cheryl for coming on. I appreciate you spending time with us and sharing your knowledge. It's really cool. So thank you. I had a question. I'm a writer, and I had a question about the types of songs that work well for sync. I've been trying to get a sync placement for a while. And I think I just kind of had an epiphany lately that sometimes I feel like when I write a song, my normal approach is to write the story. And I'm starting to think that sync is more about writing a feeling. When I think about the kind of songs that I love to write, and honestly, a lot of the songs that are my favorite songs to listen to from other artists, you know, they tell a story, like they really capture something in the song. And I guess I was just wondering, from your perspective, lyrical content, are you finding that, you know, the songs that you come across your desk to pitch for sync are more, I guess, are like, I don't want to say better or worse, but like, basically, I'm starting to wonder if songs that work for sync well don't have to be as good and actually shouldn't be as good as songs that you would pitch to an artist or songs that you would put out yourself as an artist sometimes, because it just sometimes it feels like, I don't know. I was just kind of wondering your thoughts on that. Hopefully I'm making sense, especially as it relates to lyrics.
Right.
I appreciate the nodding from the audience. Hopefully somebody gets what I'm talking about.
So for me, like even for me, when it comes to like what is good or bad or like mid music, it's like very subjective.
Right.
And for films, like scenes also vary. There is a montage, there is like climax action scene, there is just small like one person in the room and just like marinating all their thoughts. So like music, like so the music for those things also varies in genres and beats and like if it has lyrics or not and emotions. So like for example, I worked on a project and we need to replace At Last by Etta James. So and that was so hard to replace because the lyrics really speaks to the character. It's like one of the final like arc of this character, and it's just like a triumphant like feeling, and it's like a long hard road, and she just went through and she finally made it. So we need the lyrics to really represent the feeling. So what we're looking for is like have like a very strong female vocal and has those very long lasting like emotions and very impactful. And then there are like some, like I mentioned, we just need to find music for a diner. So it can be anything. And it's like, it really depends on the filmmakers, what they want. So we'll go for some like cocktail music, some like very quiche sultry music from like 70s or like have the same vibe, or disco or like reggaeton. It's like all varies. So for sync licensing, it's really a diverse world when it comes to music. And but because I'm not a musician, I'm not really telling any musician like what to do, but just based on my experience collaborating and selecting music, it's, I believe if you have a narrative in music, the way you want to, just go for it. Because, you know, there's just stories happen all the time in film, so you never know.
Yeah, thank you for that. I guess I'm just curious about like have you had any of your favorite songs get placed in sync, whether you knew them before they came across your desk or not? I guess, I don't know, for me, I feel like I love being, for example, I if you're writing a love song or something, right? Like sometimes you want to tell the love story in the song. But sometimes I'm feeling like that might not be as useful for sync because they just want it to be way more general versus something that you want to write, you know, the next My Heart Will Go On or whatever it is, even though that was obviously a sync song. So yeah, that was helpful. So I appreciate that.
Okay. So what's the question? Yeah. Do you have a question?
Oh, Jessica, did you have another question?
No, I think I was just adding.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Hopefully that was helpful to the rest of you all as well. Are you all enjoying this? Are you all getting notes out of this? If you are, just give us a little thumbs up to let us know. Cool. Okay, awesome. Leonie, I see you with your notebook. Cool. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and I think we have about, what is it, Kit Kat, 7 songs that we want to go through. So we will go ahead and jump right into the listening session. And yeah, I see a ton of thumbs up. Woo! So we'll jump into the listening session. Basically what we do, for those of you that are new to our events, every time we host a listening session, we'll play about a minute to minute and a half of folks and Jessica, yes, we did get your song, by the way. I see your message. So we play about a minute to minute and a half of folks' music who submitted prior to the event. So I know we always get questions like, how do I submit? How do I submit? How do I submit? It has to be done prior to the event. So if we miss you this time, we'll get you in on another event. Cool. So we have 7 songs. Oh, I'm echoing. Is everybody hearing me echo? No? Okay, we're good. Cool. So what Cheryl and I will do is we'll just go through, and it's less about providing feedback for this because the feedback is not necessarily going to be as helpful. Like if we tell you, okay, your music's not good, how is that going to help you with understanding whether or not your music is going to be great for film or how it could be placed in film? So Cheryl has offered to talk about where she could see it and if it invokes emotion or how it invokes emotion. So this will be kind of a collaborative feedback session too. So folks believe that they could see it in a type of film or television show, please drop it in the chat so that we all could see what kinds of emotions it invokes in you too. So we're going to start off with Brother Pathos, and that is Larry. Larry, are you still here? Yes, you are. Woohoo. Okay, cool. So we'll start off with you, and then we'll just keep jumping right through. So this is Hand Hand. Actually, Brother Pathos, do you want to introduce your song really quickly before we go ahead and get started?
Yes, this song is called Hand Hand, and it's just something that me and my music partner, it kind of just happened by accident, it's just really beautiful. It happened by accident. Sometimes the best things come from like you messing with your DAW or your digital workstation and you hit a sound and it's like, man, I can make something out of this sound, and it just evolves from there. And there's also a video that we created for this song as well on YouTube. So yeah, check it out.
Cool. All right, Kit Kat. Cool. Brother Pathos, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing. Woo-hoo.
Thank you for sharing.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, Cheryl, what do you think? Where could you see something like this?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I really like it. It's has this cinematic feeling, and it's the instrumental has a lot of it's a breeze in it. So I think I can really see it to cut into some scenes, or just to creating an atmosphere for this character, for their journey. So yeah, I really like it. I really like it.
Brother Pathos, you got a couple of comments in the chat too. I always like to suggest screenshotting the comments because it's nice to see what other people think about your music. Ashley said that she can see it in a workout ballerina montage.
Exactly.
A workout? What kind of workout? But just the ballerina kind of workout? Or are you pumping iron at the gym to this song?
Like in the movies where I don't know if you wanted me to speak. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ashley, go ahead. I'm curious.
Yes.
I mean, like, when it's like this person, I'm sorry, maybe I should come on screen. Hold on. basically, like when this person, like they've been like working towards something for like a really long time, maybe it's like it gave like ballerina like floaty kind of vibes. So like maybe like they had like an injury and now they're coming back from it and they're working and they're overcoming and everything like that. Like, so that's what it made me hear and that's what it made me feel. So that's what I meant by that.
I was like, I hope you're not lifting weights to the awesome. Cool. Ashley, we're gonna play your music in a second, but it's good to see you. Cool. Brother Pathos, did you have something to add?
One more thing, just quickly.
Yeah.
My partner, a music partner, he works and makes prosthesis for people that have like amputees and things like that. So he works on hands all the time. And I think that's pretty much where the inspiration for this came from. He was at work working on a hand and it was for a little kid. And so, you know, it just came for that. So, yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, you got a couple of other comments. Rachel said it gave her melancholy feelings. Let's see. Joey said, I closed my eyes and I saw a character leaving their hometown in a bayou somewhere down south to travel up north. Ooh, I like that. That's very specific. Teji says, can Def hear this on a superhero show, like something on the CW? Nice. Black Lightning. Cool. I really like these comments. Keep it coming, everybody.
So good. Yeah. I feel like I really like everyone's like writing a scene or description like for this song. I love it. It's the narrative, the story. It's always that.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Brother Pathos. Thank you for submitting.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, Kit Kat, who do we have next?
Up next, bringing Ashley back. This is Back in Time.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know how I feel right now. I don't know what to say. My heart feels like it's been broken into, and there's nothing I can do. If I could go back in time, baby, I wouldn't change a single thing. I cherish the time we had, but that's all over now. If I could go back in time, baby, I wouldn't change a single thing. If I could go back in time, baby, I'd keep it all the same.
Ooh, Ashley, your voice.
Beautiful.
I was about to
Beautiful.
start crying. If I could go back in time. I'm going to start crying and sing that to my man.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. I've been coming here
Yeah.
for so long, so hearing you say that is so sweet.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Ashley. Cheryl,
Yeah.
what do you think? Where could you see something like this?
Yeah, I see comments that people are already like, talking about what the scenes they can see this music in is, and they're absolutely true. And it's, like to me, it speaks of like after a hard time, those epiphany, all those waves of emotions coming in, and you just sit through and just looking like how far you've gone. You've like all the hard time you've been through and how far you've gone. So it's beautiful, and I can see that definitely works. And I was thinking about High Fidelity, those shows, and just after those heartbreaking scenes, and it's definitely works. So yeah, thank you for the good work. Yeah.
Ashley, you got a lot of comments. Screenshot these. Don't forget to screenshot them. You have things like Leonie said, pivotal argument or breaking point for a couple or main character, discovered something with a twist. Let me see. Nia said definitely after a breakup or argument. Joey said totally see a young love breakup / get back together moment in like a teen drama. I was putting my own life in here. I was making up my own music video to to this song. I was like, oh my ex and I, like, something happened between us. We were fighting. This is, yeah, I really like this. Cool. Well, thank you, Ashley, for sharing.
Thank you.
Amazing, because that's really what it was about. It was about my first ever breakup. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it right where I'm sitting.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like, why do I feel like this? But like, it's fine. I'm fine. You know?
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you wrote about it, because this is a beautiful song.
Beautiful.
I have
cool.
one question.
Yeah.
Question. When it comes to, I know you're talking about, you know, kind of the difference between sync agents and sync libraries. So I don't currently have it in either. So obviously, like, starting out, and I feel like you kind of answered this, but I was a little confused. Like, starting out, would it be better to reach out to like an agent or a library? Because I really do I have faith in this song. Like, I feel like, kind of like what you guys are saying, like it could be one of those like cool moments, either like the character's driving home and they're like, I'm fine, like it's fine, or like, you know what I mean? So I just want to be able to make that happen. Yeah, so any thoughts?
Yeah. I think it depends, because I'm not really into like I'm not really familiar with all those the deals, the contract between the musician and the sync companies. But I think it's really important to have the place that have your music, that represent your music, can actively like pitch your music to places. That's very important, like for your music to be seen, to be heard. But yeah, but for those details, like, yeah, I'm sorry, like I'm not really familiar with that part of the deal. So
Ashley, I would suggest, if you're trying to, you know, start or trying to get into music supervision and you haven't, you know, reached out to anyone yet, there are tons of really great sync agents. I believe I'm going to shout out someone who just got in here, DJ Chase. What's up, DJ Chase? How are you?
What's good? What's good? I'm chilling. I'm chilling in the studio
yo.
right now. So
DJ Chase, you still do music sync, right?
I've been a little busy, so not as of late. I've been focusing on my DJ stuff, but yeah, but I'm here though.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. I was gonna refer someone to you. We got someone right here.
Send them through. I've been playlisting more, so that's why I've been really taking a break actually.
Gotcha. Okay, well, Ashley, DJ Chase is in sync and does some sync agency work.
Could you put your thing in like the chat? I'm trying to like look through
everything.
I'm not seeing anyone.
I got you right now. I'm about to message you.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, Ashley, there are a ton of different sync agents that you can reach out to, and this is for everybody, which is why like we allow time for this question too. There are so many different sync agents that you can reach out to. It's just a matter of finding one that will really advocate for you, because obviously, you know, if you reach out to a sync agent who has like 20 million songs on their roster and none of them have been placed before, then that's probably not a great person to reach out to. But yeah, Ashley, you got one person right there, so good luck.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Ashley, for sharing. Next up, Kit Kat, who do we have?
Shine. I know he's in the room. Shine.
All right.
Hey.
Cool. Hey, Shine, you want to tell us about your song really quickly?
Sure thing. Well, first of all, Cheryl, Alexi, thank y'all so much for the knowledge today. I've been learning a lot, and great to be here. This is a song called Nest. It's an electronic instrumental song from an EP I put out in May. It was kind of just my form of digital escapism. I want the song to take the listener somewhere far away. Hope y'all like it.
Nice. All right, Kit Kat, hit it. Ooh,
love it.
Shine, that was cool. Shine, you're elevating your sound every single time. I feel like your music is getting better and better. This is dope. Cheryl, what do you
Thanks so
think?
much.
Right. Yeah, I can. Oh my God. Yeah, like comments is saying the same thing. Like I can totally see this music being played in the club scene, but more like underground, like a neon lights and kind of more like a dark room. And it totally works. And it works in the montage, and it works like a character just walk into this club and it's like introduce this a new world like in the club party. So yeah, I really like it. I really like it.
Yeah, Shine, you got some cool messages in the chat. Jacqueline said, I can see this in a London-based show, underground club scene, dark and gritty. Rachel says, this gives me big city vibes like LA, New York. Joey says, the dance community would eat this up. UK skate park under the bridge graffiti. Taquam says, why do I feel like this would be in Killing Eve or even Orphan Black?
Oh.
Nice. Yeah,
Oh,
this is
yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Shine, you got to screenshot all of them.
Oh my gosh, I'm saving this right now. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is cool. I could see it in a vampire movie. Definitely in like a dark scene. This is cool. All right,
Yeah.
awesome. Thanks for sharing, Shine.
Thank you.
All right, Kit Kat. Next up, who do we got?
Joey,
Dance with
baby,
You.
dance with you, radio edit.
Woo woo. All right, Joey.
Am I here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You want to tell us about your song really quickly?
Absolutely. I feel like I don't want to say too much because I want to hear what people's response is to it. But I'm also an actor and filmmaker, so I always create music from a very visual place, but I'm very interested to hear kind of like what films come up in other people's minds.
Cool. All right, hit it, Kit Kat.
Joey, baby. Can you turn me up a little? Yeah, just like that. My friends say I fall too easily in love, and I know that I'm wrong. But you make me see forever immediately. But don't wait that long. I wanna practice what you preach, but now you're making me size you up. But I'm somebody too, taking it slow. I'm not old enough to spend some time with you. Oh yeah. I don't want us to want it. I don't want us to need. Tell me, boy, is it worth it? I don't need you on your knees. Every night I catch myself dreaming about you, but you don't have to stay. I just wanna dance with you. So please make it sweet for me. Yeah, you could be.
Love it. Oh, this is so
Joey.
fun.
Yeah,
So
I love this song. Cheryl, what do you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. This can definitely works. And you know, for there's a young kids party and love, it's all about, you know, the adventure of they're gonna have, and you know, it involves heartbreak, it involves fun, it involves good time. I love it. It's it definitely has a story in it. I love it. And it's like a very 90s vibe. I love it. That's my thing.
Thank you so much. That's like exactly, I'm super obsessed with late 90s, early 2000s cartoons. I think somebody said Teen Nick, and I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I picture. But I feel like my dream would be to underscore like a queer first kiss in like a HBO Max, like cartoon slash reality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love that.
Yeah. Joey, you got a lot of people saying like teen dance movies, Teen Nick, Bring It On. Everyone loves your music. Apparently, you got a lot of like, love this song, love it, like the prom or formal Y2K makeup montage. Very fresh and nostalgic, practicing for dance competition. Nice. Mean Girls break out into dance battle for the prom king. That's awesome.
Zoe 101, shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a hot joint. That was definitely hot. Like it definitely had like late 2000s vibes. That was dope though.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Joey, I love that song so much. Thank you for sharing it again.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Cool. All right. Next up, Kit Kat, who do we got?
Kingston.
Right.
It's
Kingston,
here.
are you here? Kingston, where are you? Yes, he's here. Hey, hey.
Okay.
All right. Kingston, you're on mute. There you go.
Yeah, it's been a while. Hi, thank you.
Hey. Kingston, do you want to introduce yourself or you want us to play your song and then you can talk a little bit?
Yeah, my name's Kingston. I am a singer-songwriter from Los Angeles, and the song that we're about to play is about gentrification, and it was recorded live at my show at the Hotel Cafe last month. And I have a show tonight. If anyone is in LA, come through to the Viper Room Lounge. I go on at 8:50, and you can DM me through Instagram at Kingston Music. Instead of the C in music, it's GK. You can see in my handle for pre-sale tickets at $10. And sorry, I'm jibber jabbering quite a bit. So let's get on to the music unless anyone has some questions. And thank you for selecting my song.
Cool. Thanks, Kingston. I'm so excited you got something recorded.
Yeah, mixed and mastered finally.
Woo-hoo. Kingston has been coming on for 2 years and we've been pushing him to get his music mixed and mastered. This is the first time we're hearing it recorded. Woohoo!
Yeah, we don't have to have the live horrible Zoom audio. So now you got a good quality. They did a great job at the studio that prepared it. So
awesome. Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Kit Kat, hit it.
She makes the money and he counts the funny faces all the way to the bank. Living the dream, dreaming the life for so long they can't say goodbye. And sometime when they meet, they go frolic, dance through the street. As they infill onward and upward, she's your sweet angel, whispering wisdom, secrets from heaven. They'll keep on gentrifying. They'll keep on gentrifying until her whisper becomes fated. So come on, come get your $6 tomato. Don't forget you pour over coffee. No. How's about a $9 taco down? Grand Central Market.
Woo! Kingston, finally!
Yes.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I can definitely see it. Like the backdrop could the backdrop could be like an open field, like it's just like a cowboy, and it could be like country vibe, but also it could be a big backdrop of like New York City and metropolitan like places. So it's the emotions are very strong, and I can definitely see it like in different stories, no matter it's like a small place or like a big city. Like,
yeah, Kingston, there are a lot of comments in the chat saying family gatherings, sweet moments. Ashley said it's giving calm cowboy. Leonie said country on the farm drama or scene breakdown. Brother Pathos said pondering life choices. Jacqueline said, I can see this, hear me out. a hospital show or a montage of someone coming back to a community they no longer relate to. Oh, interesting. Nice. I like that one. I could see this on 911, the show. Nice. Scene of a family man reminiscing over life while his family comes over for a visit. Nice. Grey's
Nice.
vibes. Cool.
That's my vibe, a folky, soulful country rock vibe. So
nice.
Thank
Cool.
you. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Kingston, for sharing, and good luck with your show tonight. Like you said, if
Thank
anyone's
you.
in LA, then hit up Kingston. He's got a show tonight at 8:50.
Yeah, come through. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, Cheryl. Thank you,
Awesome.
Lexi, and the Finessed team, and for everyone
Thank you
joining.
for sharing.
Cool. Next up, we've got RZ Shahid. RZ Riza, are you still here? Yes, I think I saw you comment. Are you still here? Yes.
I am.
Okay, cool. Do you want to introduce yourself really quick, or do you want us to play your music and then we chit chat?
I can introduce you real quick. So hey, RZ Shahid here. I would put myself in the alternative hip hop genre. Funny enough, I got an email and I saw that I got the masters back to this at like 12 in the morning. So this is not the master version, but I do have the masters. But this is Knock Knock. Basically, the song is about an eternal battle, but I turned it into a nice, fun groove, I would say. So enjoy.
Nice. Okay. And it says not mastered yet. Okay, cool. Awesome. Go ahead, Kit Kat.
Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's it knocking at my door? Who's it knocking on my who's it knocking at my wall? 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's it knocking at my door? Who's it knocking on my who's it knocking at my wall? 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's it knocking at my door? Who's it knocking on my who's it knocking at my wall? 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's it knocking at my door? Who's it knocking on my who's it knocking at my wall? Go ahead, say slide, I slide. At this point, running out of fucks. Oh yeah, I creep through the night. Right now, I'm trying to get bucked. Oh yeah, alright. Right now, no, don't you try. Hell no, boy, it's on side. Going up like it's a ride. Trying to drift through the motion. Pull the twin back to the front. Other one had to ghost him. Caught a glimpse of be yourself. So you know how to toast him. Keep it pushing by yourself. Real shit gon' coast in. Oh, you running out of time. Try and fix it down the line. Fly like VC in his prime. Don't get tangled in the vine. I don't know. Because how we moving, you're one of a kind. If you think I'm out of line, then you got your fucking mind. Don't you try and play with me. I'll tax you on a wave fee. Lagging like the latency. They'll put you up like slavery. Ain't no screaming saving me. Just let me in. I'll set you free. No matter who you think you be, I'll always be your memory. 1, 2.
Ooh.
Love it. Love it.
Wow, I like that a lot. It's not even mastered. I love that.
Yeah.
Cheryl, what do you think?
Yeah, I love the jazzy instrumental like elements in it, and that just also just like my very personal taste. It's like a drum and bass, a liquor drum and bass. It's just this is really my thing. So thank you for sharing. This is really good music. Yeah.
Thank you for the feedback. Appreciate all the comments as well. Yes.
Yeah. Rizal, there are a lot of things like racing through the subway scene, somebody running to get home, young, wild, and free, YOLO, part of a young adult movie about rebels finding their way through the system and taking life into their own hands. Joey, you got all of these stories coming through. I see you. That's awesome. Christina Dorito said when the cops come in, the drug dealers got to flush the drugs. Nice. Car chase, car movie, cruising late night. Yeah, this is awesome. Wow, you got a lot. You better screenshot all of these. You got a lot of different ideas for music videos now. Don't forget to give credit to whoever tells you this idea though. So cool. And Riza said, dropping soon. Thank you everyone. And for the one who asked, IG is there. Cool. Yeah, this is cool. I could also see a stop motion kind of scene too, like a very quick stop motion scene. Yeah, Rizal, I think you got a lot of ideas there. So good luck and thank you for sharing. All right.
Thank you.
Next up, and I think Kit Kat, this is last but not least, right? Kit Kat?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. This is Jessica Lois. Jessica, I know you spoke a little bit. Do you want us to play your sorry.
no.
Sorry. So did the echo stop? Okay, here we go. Jessica, do you want to introduce yourself really quickly?
Sure. Hi everyone again. I'm a songwriter. I do a lot of things, songwriter, producer, vocal producer, etc. On this one, I am the co-writer and the co-vocal producer, but I did do the background vocal arrangement. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much. It's for all the hopeless romantics out there. Hope you guys like it.
Awesome. Go ahead, Kit Kat.
Yeah. Am I the only one who wants magic? Found in a kiss that's a perfect fit. Seems everybody just want a quick fix, but I'm searching for something built to last. So is it wrong if I want violins to play along when it begins? I'm talking about a journey that's worth the trip. Someone tell me, is it too much to ask? Might be a hopeless romantic. Can they say I'm dramatic? Deep down, yeah, it might be true. Just want the passion my heart imagines. If another hopeless romantic's out there, I hope that I find you. I hope that I find you. I really do. And you will find me. I hope that I find you. I hope that I find you. If my hopeless romantic's out there, I hope that I find you. Am I a fool?
Ooh! I was running up a hill.
Wow.
I was singing. I love that, Jess.
Wow. I love it. Wow, like we have really good submissions today. Wow. It's just thank you. Wow, this is so good. Yeah, and like people are also saying in the comments, it definitely has the cinematic feeling, and it could definitely, I see, you know, a young like teenager or adult like just traveling through the city, or it's just after a big event and there's just some time alone, but there's just still a lot of the emotions, adrenaline coming out, and I really love it. It's just beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, Jess, I'm telling you, I was running up that hill singing, throwing my arms to the sky. I could see this in a musical. This is a really cool song. You got a lot of other comments in here, like bedroom vibes. Totally see a prom dress reveal moment. Let's see the character gaining their power back after a breakup and getting back to who they are and self-discovery, coming of age montage and credits screen, rom-com. You got a lot. You got to save some of these ideas for the music video.
Yeah, I already have some music video ideas in mind, but this is actually giving me some other ideas. So thank you guys so much for this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Jess, I love your music. I am so
Thank
happy.
you, Alexi.
Yeah,
I can't wait I'm really excited to put this one out. I just gotta finish the rest of the album.
I love it. Cool. All right. Thank you for submitting, and thank you to everybody else who submitted. I hope you enjoyed this. I always love the music supervision ones because it's just so fun to, you know, use the visual side of your brain instead of just the hearing side of it. So cool. Hopefully everybody enjoyed themselves. If you did, just unmute yourself really quickly and do a little whoop whoop.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Ow!
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, boy.
Awesome. Ow! Cool. So thank you everybody for coming. So
thank you.
Yeah, Cheryl, this is awesome. I hope you enjoyed yourself too. Cheryl, did you do a little?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me. This is so fun. It's like the submissions, and it's so good. Wow. It's so good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So one of the reasons why I brought Cheryl on to speak with us today was because we met at an event in New York City, and she was the only other Asian woman in the room. So I had to go to my homegirl over there. And it's just so exciting to bring a woman of color who's in music supervision, because we don't typically see a lot of women of color in the space, or people of color just in general. So Cheryl, thank you so much for being a part of the event. And
no, thank you.
Are there any ways, or is there anything you'd like to plug? Any ways that people can contact you if they have additional questions? Like what should we know about you before we leave?
No, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, definitely. Like I'm definitely open-minded, about like finding new artists. I'm definitely down for that. So yeah, let me know. Yeah, with music, I'm definitely eager to hear. So yeah,
awesome.
Hit me up.
Cool. And thank you everybody for joining. So one of the things that we want to implement in the next 6 months is going back to doing some more of these one-on-one experiences with folks. In the last 6 months, we've been doing a lot of panels, which can be fun, but we're going to incorporate some more one-on-ones into our event roster. So next week, we're still confirming someone, but we may have a fan engagement or fan type of event. And then we're still planning out the rest of the events for the upcoming months. So if you have ideas, please send them my way. Jessica, I forgot to respond to you had a lot of messages in that one message you sent me, but I will get back to you. And I definitely would love to do something for songwriters. So cool. Any last thoughts? Anyone have anything they want to say? Got to speak their piece before we go? No?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Alexi, you're the best.
I want to say thank you. Appreciate all of it.
Yeah.
Definitely the best. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you everybody for coming. We're so happy to see you,
Thank
Cheryl.
you.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you for having me again. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you everyone for listening, for sitting through all this. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Awesome. Happy Saturday, everybody. We'll see you next week. Keep your eye on our Instagram and our Discord